So that restarted my internet. Well, welcome back. Welcome to a match of ASUS Open 2012. Let's hope that was the last of my internet problems today. We shall find out, however. Apologize in advance as the fixed man doesn't come until Monday morning. We're gonna see Wzriv Poket taking on iCCup in the quarterfinals in a best out of 3. There are 2 quarterfinals opposed to 4, which you might be expecting. There's 2 quarterfinals because the number 1s of each group already went through to the semifinals, and the other spots for the semifinals will be fought for by the numbers 2 and 3 of the groups. As we have got Wzriv, number 3 of the group A, versus iCCup, number 3 of Group B. And we're gonna see them fighting over a best out of 3 to decide which one of these 2 teams is gonna be up against Virtus Pro in the semifinals. So it's not gonna be an easy job regardless, if they do go through. But first they have to go through. And we're gonna see a Magnus being banned out, as well as a Bed Rider, an Undying, and a Bounty Hunter. With the Darkseer being picked up by iCCup as the first pickup, and Jakiro Templar Assassin picked up by WP. So those 2 heroes will already be picked up. And apologies in advance, I will be looking at my side screen a lot during the draft because I want to just check that my internet's not failing while I have this draft. And if it does, then I want to be finding it out sooner rather than later, just so I can fix it. For the people that are asking, why is no PGG or Hexor no longer in iCCup? Well, it is because iCCup now consists of basically the entire lineup of Devil Mice. That's now iCCup. And of course we know that team from being 3rd in the World Cyber Games in Asia or China. So that is gonna be that's gonna be it. The quality button, by the way, for my stream is not determined by me but by Twitch, so please send a report to them if you don't have it. We're gonna see the Sven and the Keeper of Light being picked up by iCCup, so not, well, basically not hiding what they want to do. They want to go for Sven. They want to give still Wzriv Poket the chance to pick up something that counters him. They actually picked up a Shadow Demon, which is quite unusual, because now we're gonna see iCCup banning out, like we see the Lifestealer. We're gonna see probably the Faces Void being banned out, and maybe also the Bane. All those heroes that can go through that BKB of the Sven, and that are just very annoying for Sven to deal with. Maybe also Beastmaster ban out, or otherwise maybe Wzriv Poket still is gonna pick that up, because of course they still haven't got their offlane. For now they've only got the start of their tri lane. And we're gonna see them banning out heroes to make sure that iCCup is not gonna be getting that strong tri lane as they can get with the Keeper of the Light. Nyx Assassin no longer there. Keeper of the Light Sven is still gonna be helped with, like for example, a Leshrac, a Lina, Rubik. Basically, a lot of heroes can still be added to that tri lane to still be very dangerous. But we'll see if it's gonna be an aggressive tri lane or not. I don't think we'll know yet until we see what it's going to be the last pickup by iCCup. I mean, a Darkseer is obviously a good offlaner, but potentially also a good laner against Templar Assassin in mid. And we are seeing the Faces Void being banned out by iCCup. No real surprise there. And we're going to see what hero we're gonna see banned out by Wzriv Poket. Is it gonna be a Leshrac or Lina, or is it gonna be an Outworld Destroyer? Now this is something interesting to note, because we have seen the Outworld Destroyer being banned out before. It was banned out by Empire against iCCup, I believe. Am I saying that properly? I think I did. So they don't want to be facing that in iCCup, maybe having some good games with that Outworld Destroyer that, me personally, I haven't seen those. But amongst Russians, Ukrainians, etc., it is apparently common to see that, perhaps. We're gonna see a Klinks being banned out on the side of iCCup. Don't want to be facing that, and there's still the Leshrac ban, the one that we would be expecting to see banned against that Sven, as Pocket bans out that one. Next pickup for iCCup, is it gonna be that a tri lane completing that one, with maybe a Lina still there? Or of course there is also still the Bane. That's the other one that I said that was I said the Bane actually as a hero that could be banned out by iCCup. because he's such a great counter against the Sven. If he gets his BKB, Fiend's Grip, he cannot attack. And the one thing that Sven is, I mean, if he's attack, he's a beast. If he can't attack, he's a pussy. And he is like, oh, sorry, should I say that? No. He's a kitten. And it's Bane that would be Fiend's Gripping Sven, but now they're on the same team. So that's no longer going to be happening. As we're going to see what Wzriv Poket is going to be answering to this one. Now that they know that the Bane is no longer here. I already said there's still a Beastmaster there. That is still a hero, that is a semi-counter against the Sven, but it's not that long of a disable. Enigma though, that's a better one. But that would mean that they still have a jungle hero, and that would mean that, well, that the Jakiro or the Shadow Demon would be either on the dual lane or a solo lane, and that's not going to be happening. So the space for a Enigma is not that great, even though we have seen Enigmas on the off lane as well. So it might be a possibility there. As we're waiting for the last pickup for iCCup right here. And it should be either an off lane still, or maybe a mid lane, depending on if they're going to have their Darkseer against the Templar Assassin. And if they're not going to have that, then maybe the Queen of Pain would still be a good pickup, because we have seen Queen of Pain being up against the Templar Assassin and actually holding her own.
5 seconds remaining.
Maybe we're seeing an off lane though. I mean, Windrunner still on the pool. Solid off lane. It could also be the pickup for Pocket, because they were missing that one as well. Depending on if they're going to be a safe lane or a long lane. Aggressive tri lane for either side. I mean, Shadow Demon Mirana is a very strong combination, and if you combine it with a Jakiro, that's even more so. I mean, Disruption to start things off. Arrow that guaranteed it's gonna hit. Ice Path over the top. No hope of getting away, and that should be a kill. Queen of Pain indeed being picked up, so that will say that the Darkseer is indeed gonna go for an off lane. And we'll probably see Queen of Pain taking on the Templar Assassin. Like I said, something that we see often. So no real surprise there. As we're waiting for Pocket to pick up their last hero. Is it gonna be an aggressive tri lane? And then maybe have a Weaver, for example, on the short lane to just farm constantly?
5 seconds.
I mean, the Klink is already being banned out. That would be a great hero to have on the
reserve time.
On the off lane. Short lane, that is, short lane solo. But we've also seen anti-mages short lane solo. Having said that, we know that there's a Sven, so how late game do you want it to be? Not that late game, because the later game is gonna be, well, the more powerful that Sven gets, and if you can't shut him down early on, well then you'll get pretty tricky, so we might not see anything of that. I might just see a early game carry. Solo offlane. I'm thinking what could be another possibility there.
Windrunner at your...
Nah, it's okay. It's gonna be the safe Windrunner. Always wanna fly, we'll play that one. Well, I did mention her already, of course. She is just a solid hero. I mean, you can't really go wrong with the Windrunner, right? Shackles are always useful. Always good stuff. And yeah, for the people asking, we're gonna have 2 quarterfinals. The official starting time for this one was 2 CET time. We're now 20 minutes past time, but there has been 2 hours planned in for this best out of 3. And then there is after this one, directly after, is gonna be Navi taking on Illuminate in the other quarterfinals. After which the first semifinals will start. It will all just be in a row, like no breaks, no food. For me, but it will all just be without breaks, I believe. Even though, of course, it is an offline event, so there might be some delays or breaks regardless of how it goes. And yeah, as I said, or as I tweeted, rather, I've had my my XSplit restart.
Prepare for battle.
But I think I got all my overlays, hotkeys, or so covered, etc. So, but I might be wrong. But just bear with me, as that might not go as, oh yeah, ticking sounds. Not be as fast as it normally goes. So the ticking sounds are still there. There is no Hexor anymore in iCCup. Both PGG and Hexor are no longer in iCCup. iCCup is the full lineup of Devil Mice. Just saying. So we're gonna go over iCCup. See who's playing what. We got Jackal playing the Sven. It's gonna be Wzriv who's gonna be playing that Bane. It's gonna be, oh, that was Wzriv. Wow, that's one then. FNG will be playing the Keeper of the Light. We're gonna see J4 playing the mid laner as a Darkseer still, so that
30
means
seconds
we're gonna
to
have a
battle.
Queen of Pain off lane, played by Sunlight. And that means that we're having... I like this, purely for the name, because we know that S4 of No Tidehunter is in the mid lane, and also a J4, and when we're gonna have more 4s. Oh my god. I know. Stupid logic. So yeah, Sunlight is gonna be playing the Queen of Pain on the off lane. We're gonna see from Wzriv Poket, it's gonna be Basil's Perfect playing the Mirana. Yul will be playing the Shadow Demon. It will be Hardy playing the Jakiro. Always Wanna Fly is going to be playing the Windrunner, probably be going to the bottom lane with Resolution, of course, on his Templar Assassin, which we have seen him play a lot of times. And yeah, indeed, as the chat says no pauses yet. Can be troublesome, as we have actually a rotation. And it looks like we are going to have an aggressive tri lane, so Always Wanna Fly moving, or did they change their mind again? Okay, they changed their mind again. Especially now that they know that the Darkseer is going to be in the middle lane. And you're already showing himself, so J4 is going to be able to harass him. There's still a disruption. Arrow will fly. This might be a first blood. Here's also coming Hardy in the ice path. That is the first blood going to Resolution. Hello, mid lane advantage for him. That he would never have gotten without that, because of course we know that the earlier start, the earlier game is the most difficult for Templar Assassin up against the Darkseer. Because that Iron Shell is so annoying. It will mean that the tri-lane will be having some delay, as well, they are still having to make their way towards the top lane. Sunlight's going to be playing here. I mean, the disruption, the arrow and the ice path, if they follow up perfectly, there will still be a combination that they really don't want to be facing. And they're going to be seeing it. There goes the arrow, and it hits also. Here comes the ice path. WP is going to get a second kill of the game, and it's Shadow Demon that picks it up this time. And that is going to be a great start for WP, as we have Windrunner, of course, against this duo/tri-lane, semi-tri-lane, because it's Keeper of Light who's just farming in the jungle, which we know he can do. But it's Windrunner who's going to be very safe here. And this is just very interesting, because they can do this constantly. Now I have to say, Queen of Pain now has seen it once. I mean, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. We're gonna see if Sunlight's letting himself getting caught again by that one. As of course, it's very hard to dodge. It is very hard to dodge. The moment you get a disruption on yourself, I mean, the arrow, if timed perfectly, which his name indicates he will do. Oh, there's the pause. Then he will be getting caught by that combination. So yeah, the pause still goes on. It only says 10 seconds though. 10 seconds. As again, just like yesterday, my voice has taken some time to start up, so you might hear a bit like crackles, because my voice is not quite at the right shape right now due to massive amounts of casting lately. As we have got J4. 9 last hits so far, as we have got disruption. Again, this was just a defensive disruption though, making sure that the rune that might have spawned there would have gone to Yul, but the rune actually went bottom, and it was a regen rune, and we just picked it up. Last hit wise for Resolution, it's on 8 for 3, so very even here on the mid lane on last hits, but of course Resolution already having that early game advantage. Oh, that was still there. Already having that early game advantage with that first blood. And J4 is, of course, I mean, he can't let it work against him, because he should still be able to harass as much as he can, but he knows he's at a disadvantage, and he'll be playing a bit more careful. As Always Wanna Fly decided, well, might not be getting farm at the bottom lane, but maybe I can get something on the middle lane, and actually stole some experience there. And of course Windrunner is one of those heroes that could in theory be farming these if she wants to, and she is gonna stack them first and then just trying to farm them probably. It's because, I mean, she can do that because her base damage is decent, and especially her range is the one that makes her able to do this, by just constantly pulling and then attacking them. But for now she stacks it, something for Mirana to take down later, even though it's not going to be an easy task. I mean, for the Sven it's going to be easier to take them down, so they have to be careful not to give those agents away later on, because Jackal will be ready to take them on earlier than Mirana would be able to. Basil's perfect. But we'll see if they're ever even gonna know, of course, that is going on, because that's kind of mandatory. As Jackal, in the meantime, 21 last hits. We see the last hits in the nice standings. It is just Jackal that is very high on top of there, and even the Mirana, even though she has got decent free farm, or at least, I mean, the space in the lane is there. Queen of Pain can't do that much to harass, and as we can see also, she also only got 1 deny, and that might have been a deny when she was actually alone on the lane at the start. But Maran has only got 15 last hits, so definitely not as far ahead as the Sven is. There's the ice path, disruption already there, right clicks to go, there's the turf, dual breath still going through. We'll be able to slow him down soon as this one goes off, but that is not going to be a kill. What was a kill, however, is the Windrunner going down, and she went down all the way over here. I am really not sure what she was thinking of doing here, maybe pulling the lane back. But it was a nightmare, followed up by a stun. We see Jackal missing some mana. And that was him not being able to stay alive. I'm not really surprised if he was actually going down there. It's a bit awkward to see that. And yeah, for all the people... never mind. I'm not even going to say that. Okay, so if you don't like my casting, tough luck. But in case you want to be able to have your own camera movement, which I can understand, you can go to the Dota 2 or the Dota 2 store, because if you have the Dota 2 ticket for Star Ladder, Arrow, Sunlight, Dual Breath, Blink, no, Blink is there, and that's a kill, and that is going to be another kill on the Queen of Pain, and it's going to be a safe kill as well. Windrunner in the meantime going down as well, being dived past their own tower. Stuns there, illuminates there. Of course, I mean, this trial lane, the potential that we see is of course a nightmare to start things off. The illuminate, that will hit regardless because of that, and of course Sven giving the time to run up to his target and actually hit it a couple of times and land a stun in case she tries to run away. So the potential is definitely there on the bottom lane, and they have shown it already, and they are getting some pressure down on the tier 2 tower, as we have also got some rotation here, because it's Joel as well as Hardy that are now going to help out. Always want to fly invisibility rune up on the Templar Assassin, and she actually activated that just to try and see for the ward though, for the rune, or maybe she actually wants to go for something. They realize she's there, but do they actually have got something to see her with? They have a sentry ward. Look at them. They saw them popping it because they have got the ward here. But they are just waiting, seeing. They already placed this ward just to be able to see her, but she's just going to go for the haste rune, and she's going to be safe, as Windrunner might not be as safe, because here comes Weejasik with his nightmare. It's going to be a stun to follow it up, or start it off on. Can he TP? He can actually. Power shot, trying to make it through. Illuminate going through. Not even more mana needed, and they know it too. One more hit, and Jackal's not going to waste his mana on that one. And now all of a sudden kills are 3 to 3. So it's even again. As the Hand of Midas is completed on the Sven. Let's see what this Moran is going to go for. She picked up her face boots. She picked up her Ring of Bacillus, so going for an Aquila, which she has almost got complete. She could actually fly it out if she wants to, but for now it's wards that are being flown out, as we also have got a ganking team, Yol and Hardy, of course, going for that tier 1 tower, but there's no heroes here, so they'll just take the tower and be gone with it. As the meantime, of course, this tower has already went down, so that is going to be that. As once more I see that a lot more people joined us. These are the first of the 2 quarterfinals that we're going to see. There are only 2 quarterfinals because the 2 top teams of the groups already went through to the semifinals, so they don't need to play in quarterfinals anymore, with the number 2 facing the number 3 of the other group, and then another quarterfinals doing the vice versa. And then it will be the 2 semifinals, starting off with Virtus Pro against the winner of this best out of 3. And this is only game number 1. As we have got J4 in the meantime, 41 last hits up on him. Resolution, 42, so very even. After, of course, the Resolution, he still got the first blood, so he still has got that ahead. As we have got, I mean, with all these towers going down, I'm actually going to switch to net worth, because that's a bit more interesting to see right now. With Sven, I mean, no surprise that Sven is on top of there. I mean, he's been in 3 kills already. Actually, I have to just say, all the 3 kills that are being done on iCCup are all done on Always Wanna Fly, which is really not that ideal for him, but at the same time, it's also not that bad to have all the kills up on the same target, because it just means that the rest of WP has not died yet, and that's good, so that is good. Illusion Rune up on the Dark Seer, haste rune activated by a Templar Assassin, wants to go for this. Demonic Purge helping out, backing up on the high ground for Resolution, cannot get away from this. Can still try to attack though, and is able to get the last hit as well. And now attacking from the high ground up on Jackal. Dubrat going through it. Is always Wanna Fly that goes down to the Keeper of Light still. As now the TP out towards the tier 1 mid from the Templar Assassin, but he'll be back shortly. Actually decides to chase his mind. Is gonna let his teammate die, and there will be nothing left for her unless he gets denied by a neutral. No. No luck there. Jackal picking up his second kill of the game and is now in 5 kills out of the 5 kills that are done on iCCup, with finally getting something else down apart from the Windrunner. So that's the Jakiro going down, but still it's a support. Templar Assassin able to TP out of there into safety, of course, making sure that she's not going to be dying up on that high ground, which was not a really good place for her to be at. In the meantime, levels are, of course, I mean, it should be fairly even. It is slightly in favor of iCCup, mostly because they have not roamed around as much as WP and have still been able to get 5 kills, and have got 1 more kill than WP has. In the meantime, Arana has just been farming, though, free farming at that, and she does still have not more farm than the Sven, and that is because of the Hand of Midas. Drums are now up on her, though. She will be bringing it towards her, so you see the gold graph drop there a bit, or at least the net worth, but that is because things in the courier don't count. In the meantime, always want to fly is making sure that he is taking advantage of nobody else being on this bottom lane here. So catching up on some of the farm that he missed out on earlier on. As Wzriv has got 900 gold in his inventory, actually doing pretty well for a support. Hasn't died yet, of course, with the Keeper of Light also not having died yet. Has been also in 5 kills out of the 5 that have happened so far. And it's just going to make sure that the lane is going to get pushed out and going to continue to keep being pushed out, as we have got Sunlight just farming on this bottom line now as well. I mean, he's the one that died twice on his side, so he's the one that should be getting back up to speed. But that's the thing, if you put a Queen of Pain on the off lane, you are aware that she's not going to be fulfilling the same role as you normally see when a Queen of Pain is mid. I mean, when a Queen of Pain is mid, you see her with high levels, spamming out that Sonic Wave earlier on to get those early kills, but she's an off-lane Queen of Pain, so this is a different Queen of Pain than what we're used to seeing, or at least what I am used to seeing, as we have more Illuminates to just continue to keep the lane back, as Sven is now back on the bottom lane farming for iCCup. For a Templar Assassin, of course, also continuing to farm, almost got a Blink Dagger though, and when she has that, well, then we're going to see some more action coming off from her, I would believe, as the null damage will guarantee her that last hit, and that's the Blink Dagger complete. In the meantime, TP is going on. They want to get Jackal. Jackal, in the meantime, already picking up the Windrunner. That was a duo kill with Wzriv coming here as well. Now trying to TP out. Not going to be able to get out, though. Too much burst damage coming off from the Murano. TP'd in now. They're going to go for Jackal. There is an arrow, but it looks like Basil's Perfect is not even going to try to hit it, and is just going to continue pushing because, well, if they're here anyway, they might as well go for this tier 1 tower, right? There's only 1 tower down on either side so far, so let's make it 2. More gold going to Wzriv Poket if they can get it. There is going to be defense though, and this defense, this guy by himself is able to defend for a lot of it. Illuminates, of course, going through. There will be people coming in from the side. There comes Jakiro placing a ward, knowing exactly what his opponents are doing. And they might also know that's only 2 people there, but with that Illuminate might actually be enough to just force them back. As in the meantime, J4 building towards the mechanism, going towards the top lane where nobody else is apart from Sunlight, because there are 3 of Pocket on the bottom lane, 2 in the mid lane, and it's now only always one of Fly that's going towards the top lane to be up against the Queen of Pain. And I'm also gonna find J4 probably if he's gonna be going to that next. Yeah, they're gonna run into each other. Let's see how this is gonna go. Ah, he doesn't. Well, that's disappointing.
Radiant's middle tower.
Just gonna be safe, but yeah, the Illuminates indeed forced them back on the bottom lane, as we have now got 4 heroes here. I mean, they're wasting a lot of time here by just standing around, not doing anything. They're not getting kills, they're not getting towers. Maybe they're gonna try to get the tier 1 mid, and that might be possible. But for now, Perfect is not farming, which is not perfect. Oh my god, I made pun. This is my first pun of the day. Rejoice. Invisibility rune picked up by the Templar Assassin. As they're trying to bait something out. Can they actually get a kill here on J4? Trap goes off. Illuminate from the side. Arrow hits on J4. Soul Catcher up on there as well. I bet that's a kill. And it's Perfect that picks it up. Nightmare upon Perfect though. Here comes Sunlight. Sonic Wave over the top. Hits on 2. You're able to actually get away from that one. As Hardy now in a lot of danger. Will be blinked afterwards by Sunlight. And that's going to be the kill with the Scream. And with the Keeper of the Lights, Illuminate actually getting the last hit. 1 for 1 though. Not worth spending so much time on. And of course, I mean, iCCup spent some time on that as well. But they actually spent less time on, and they're back to farming before WP is. So we will see the gold graph probably going, indeed, towards iCCup. And this is just movement. But, hello, 300 gold? It's really nothing. Nothing at all. So it's still a very even game based on that. And experience, though, it is in favor of iCCup. And that's also the time that Wzriv Poket just took to be roaming around a bit trying to get something, and they did get something. Of course, they picked up the Darkseer, they picked up J4, which is not nothing because it's a solo mid of iCCup. But they still lost a hero in return, and they didn't get anything on the back of that kill. Like normally you want to have, like, you kill something and you get a tower in return or something, or you get a tower as a prize. But not getting anything, and they just are forced to go back to farming, as we see a Yasha being built up by Perfect. Let's take a look at some more of the items. If we see some more, of course, Jakiro doesn't have anything because he's good old support, should have even building towards an urn. Sven's stun just using his stun to farm a bit. He's still got his Hand of Midas. He also got a Drum of Endurance, and he is the one that's just spiking ahead on that net worth. And that is partly because of the Hand of Midas, because there is no Hand of Midas up on the side of Pocket. They do have a mechanism almost complete, just needs the recipe up on Always Wanna Fly. He hasn't got face boost though. That's the mechanism that he wants as he TPs towards the mid lane to try and defend his tier 1 tower. In the meantime, tier 1 tower bottom lane is going to be taken down by Pocket. As, well, some are TPing back. They know that the tower will die anyway, and they will still want to defend their own tier 1. And that is going to be successful, because they force everybody back. Not an arrow to try and grab someone, but just to make, because they were even. They don't want to be taking an even fight. Uneven fights are way more fun. As in, you want to be able to win your fights, obviously. But yeah, that was successful. Arrow. Ooh, again, J4 from the high ground. Starstorm, follow up, Necropyre as well, Ice Bat, that's a kill. That's the second time he dies in a fashion like this, and I mean, being hit by an arrow and then dying afterwards. Kills are now 7-7, as this time they're not getting anything in return. As in iCCup, they're just losing a hero, not gaining a hero in return, not even a support, not even a tower, with now 4 heroes in the mid lane for Pocket. They want to be taking this. Illuminate will try to push them out again. Hits a lot on Perfect though. And who's Yasha is now complete. Tier 1 tower taking a lot of harassment. I mean, this is the game that Pocket wants to play. They have got this mid-game lineup. If they're not getting this game mid-game, then they're gonna have this one to answer to. And that is probably one of the most scariest heroes at this time right now if he gets his farm up. Which, if given time, he will. Definitely. So Pocket getting ahead now, I mean, that's part of their strategy, and it's working out for them. At the same time, the strategy for iCCup is working out as well. Their strategy is basically let Jackal farm, and let's make sure that the rest of Pocket is still busy in the meantime without ganking up on Jackal. And so far so good. He's not been ganked yet, or at least if he hasn't died yet, so no successful ganks. He's been able to farm, he's got himself his Mask of Madness. BKB is probably going to be next. Maybe even wants to be going a bit ballsy and goes for Armlet first. I mean, we have seen those as well. But then again, there's still quite a bit of disables. I mean, Disruption, Ice Path, Arrow. You don't want to be hit by that if you're a Sven. But yeah, he's just going to be farming. So for now, iCCup in a good place. Pocket probably not pushing as hard as they should have. But they're still trying to keep the pressure on. And they are having a plan in mind because they have smoked up. There's a goal per minute, by the way, for the people that want to see that. As J4 again on the way out. Trap gonna hit. Is still gonna hit, but of course the Surge is making sure that doesn't matter. There goes an Iron Shell again. They're turning around. They want to fight this. Coming from the low ground though. See everything. Mirana's ultimate going out. Ice Path gonna not hit. It is a Bane that goes down on the side. There goes the Sven though. Stuns up 2, and the 2 go down as well. Queen of Pain, Sonic Wave doing the works. The rest trying to get themselves away. With Resolution and Perfect, I mean the 2 important heroes up on Pocket, they are the ones that shouldn't be dying, and it looks like they won't be dying because there will be a trap to slow them down, and they realize that chase would have been futile. But it is 1 support for 2 supports, and it's iCCup that gets ahead of that one. As for Pocket, probably the best thing with the moment they realized that iCCup wanted to go for them. The moment they realized that, they should have backed off. They should have just let that Mirana ultimate go through rather than going for that support that was coming in from the side. So a good fight for iCCup. Yes, they gave up a Bane, but hey, who cares? If you get 2 kills in return. Well, the sad part is, of course, that it wasn't Jackal that got the kills. I mean, the Sonic Wave got both. But then again, you got 2 kills up on your Queen of Pain. Your Queen of Pain who's having a tough time this game. He's now finally building towards her BKB, so it's definitely welcome up on her, as we have a 2 versus 2 here on the top lane. Doesn't look like Pocket wants to go on it though, or at least doesn't want to take an even fight, so they're waiting for the Windrunner to TP in there. It's a very long TP though. As I'm just trying to rotate a bit through the stats so that everybody can see the stats a bit. I normally prefer to have the net worth up, but I know it's a personal matter, so hopefully everybody will get to see what they want. just the case. Oh, look at that. That is a pretty interesting stat, though. That just shows there is 2 people on either team that just haven't died yet. On Pocket, it is the 2 important heroes, Mirana and the Templar Assassin. On iCCup, but mostly the Sven that is most important. Keeper of Light. Well, you know, nice that he didn't die yet, but not. Oh, arrow. Oh, J4. Oh, that was a shackle. No, he still got hit by the arrow as well. Melt damage going through. We just Zig's first one to die. J4 second one to die. 2 quick kills being picked up by WP. Wzriv Poket. And iCCup going back to farming. Well, mainly Jackal going back to farming. In the meantime, they might lose their tier 1 tower for that though. But having their strategy executed might not be as ideal as either team would wish, but that's like giving and taking, right? Here we're not hidden this time. I mean, WP probably would have wanted to push a bit earlier than this, but they're still pushing, they still have the control. Well, iCCup, they would have probably wanted to farm a bit more safe. What's this? What's this? I don't know. Cancel. Oh, it's a pause of the game! Look! It's not even me that paused. Can you still hear me? Can you still hear me? Going once? Yes, thank you. No, I didn't pause the game. It was Jakiro that paused. Jakiro paused the game. I can't pause the game, can I? Yeah, I can pause the game. I'm checking Skype as someone said I should, but there's no Skype. Hello, people watching my cast. Sorry if it's not that ideal. Fly. Why is he saying fly? Fly. I don't think I paused the game. Please tell me I didn't pause the game. That would be bad. It was at the same time though, like exactly the same time. It was scary. I'm not gonna press enter. Oh. Pause for open backpack. Am I not dead? Anyway, in the meantime, I was rotating through some stats. Oh hey, look, that's a lot of stats on one page for a lot of people that want to see that. In the meantime, I can just tell you again that this is game number 1 of the first quarterfinals out of 2 that we're gonna see. There are only 2 quarterfinals, by the way, even though quarter likes 4, but there's only 2 because the other 2 teams that are on top of their group already made it through to the semifinals, so they don't need to play the quarterfinals anymore. We're gonna see a quarterfinal between iCCup and Wzriv Poket, where we're going now, where we're having now. And we're going to see a quarterfinal between Na'Vi and Illuminate after this one. It's all best out of 3s. After that one, we're going to see the semifinals. The winner of this one will be going up against Na'Vi. The winner of Na'Vi versus Illuminate will be going up against Empire. And then tomorrow there's a 3rd place decider in the finals. And we have it on pause. Oh, and we have a pause again. Oof. Oof. Oh, and for the people that subscribe to my YouTube, thank you. Thank you very much. I have indeed applied for my partnership. However, there might be a 1 to 3 weeks waiting time, so I won't be getting an answer for yet. But I have reached 5K. If you want to still subscribe to my YouTube, then you're very welcome to. But I have reached the 5K, so that is nice. I'm really curious what that error was that I had. Audio transfer didn't work. Oh, boo-hoo. Well, maybe that has something to do with the fact that the sound on my YouTubes recently has been failing, as in has been behind. I don't know. Well, doesn't matter, as long as you can hear me. That's fine. I like it if you can hear me. We have got the power shot going through. iCCup decided to also take some towers. I mean, this is the last tier 1 tower standing in the game. The ones of iCCup themselves are already down, and this is the last one standing on the side of WP, as we now have some defense incoming though. That was perfect. Everybody is actually here apart from the Templar Assassin. So it's going to be a 4 versus 5 fight, if it's going to be a fight. Illuminate will help out. Maybe they're just going to give the tier 1 tower up though, or maybe just iCCup doesn't want to take the fight, because they of course have got the lineup that can wait till later game, as we see Jackal just continue to farm. He almost got his Minthrow Hammer. As the 4 heroes still hanging around here, Templar Assassin still farming in the meantime. Has her BKB complete, so that's good news for them, as we have got a smoke up for iCCup, realizing that there's a lot of people on the top lane, and they want to surprise them, want to come in from behind. And they are going to be with 4, because it is the Keeper of Light that's very far behind. Oh, nice dodge of the stun. Ice Bed's going to hit on Jackal though. Mirana's ultimate going through, arrow, not hitting on anything but a creep there, as we have the Sonic Wave going through, not hitting anything specific. Always want to fly, taking a lot of damage, actually being the first one to go down there. Basil's hitting from out of the trees. He can be doing that. Keeper of Light going down to the TA that's coming in from the side. Has got her BKB, wants to go for Jackal. Jackal trying to get himself away, 11 HP, and that is going to be the first time that Jackal actually went down. Now the trap goes off, they want to go for more. J4 going to try to TP out, won't be able to do so. Should be, actually is able to stay alive, nice job. We just think going to try to do the same thing. Is he going to be as lucky? No, he is not. There's a disruption, there's an Ice Fast, and that's the melt damage to get the kill for Resolution. Triple kill for him. And that were instantly also all the 3 heroes that went down on the side of iCCup. Nice fight for Pocket. Very nice fight. Just showing that this is still the game of WP, because this is still mid-game. Sven has got no say on this one as long as his BKB is not there. His damage is not high enough, and he is not ready yet to take on WP with the one-man army that he normally is. And they're going to be taking something in return. It's not a tower. It's going to be Roshan, which is... well, maybe even more important than the tower right now, because this one will be 6 minutes long, of course. So we'll be transferring into to a bit more, well, it's not late game, but a bit more later game, I should say. And that will definitely help them out. As for now, I mean, look at that. No more heroes that hasn't died yet in iCCup. Well, still Mirana, still Templar Assassin haven't died yet. And that is just pure danger coming from WP. As, sorry, I wasn't done yet with rotating through all the stats, but I will continue to do so now. As we'll see that more Ancients are being stacked. Like I said, this is risky though, because Sven can take them out. If they realize it's there, then that will be taken down by the Sven. He can do that, especially if he has help from his friends, teammates. J4 also continuing to farm after having his mechanism up. He doesn't have that much more apart from that 1k gold. Let's see what the rest have. The mechanism also up on the Windrunner, of course. We already knew that one. We already saw our building that. The 2 supports are just typical 2 supports with a wand, with boots, and even with mana boots up on Hardy. Resolution. And after already getting, I mean, we saw him getting the BKB before that fight, and he was like, he had 82 gold when he bought the recipe or something like that. And he already has 2300 gold, and they are clearing out these Ancients pretty good, so that will be at least not giving that one away to the Sven, even though Sven has been taking care of the Ancients of himself, of course. If you got the Mirana in the meantime, also going for a BKB, just needs 300 gold, and then he has that. Then no more Sven stuns. The only thing that really can hurt them then still is the Fiend Script, of course. And now the BKB up on Sven, and there is really nothing that can stop him on WP's side, and that's going to be something that is going to be difficult. Although, having said that, I mean, in theory, if you have Sven for one hard carry, because we can't really count Queen of Pain now, she is mostly a utility hero with the mana and spells and stuff. But it's gonna be Sven against the Templar Assassin and the Mirana. Now, Templar Assassin has covered fractions, so might be able to do enough damage even with the BKB on. And Mirana can just hit from a range and can leave herself away. And also with the BKB on when she has that, so also is not able to gonna be stunned. And the thing about a Sven is that he has to get in range to be able to hit stuff, and when he hits stuff, of course, he's still very powerful. But the hitting stuff is still very much needed, of course, as the arrow doesn't hit, and the leap away is still gonna be stunned, but it's gonna be too far away for Jackal to actually chase that down. But yeah, if WP can play it so that Jackal wastes his BKB while chasing around people that he can't reach, that will be something that will be giving them the advantage in the fight. As well, J4 gonna be going in here, or is he? No. Blink in, Shadow Strike still there, but the extra movement from the leap is there as well, so that's not gonna be turning into a kill. And instantly we see the rotation of Yola's Resolution as well as always want to fly, and they want to go towards the mid lane. He bought something. He got his mana boots. Or did he pick something up else? He picked up his plate mail, so he's going for his Sheevas. As we have some aggressive boarding coming up from Hardy, already placing one at the top lane. As we have also, apart from that, and of course this one as well, because they're still expecting their tier 1 tower to be taken down. Which is a good guess, to be fair. There's sentry wards and sentry wards. Just making sure that they have that control at the same time, controlling their own jungle, and the jungle of WP is going to their enemy. With the wards being there, Sunlight blinking himself away, 2k gold up on himself. Still going for BKB. Has got enough gold to pick up his Minster Hammer, but might just want to wait until he has gold to do everything. To pick everything up at the same time.
Top tower is under attack.
But no, picks up the Minster Hammer regardless. Going in from the side, another ward placed here, so they have the plan. And they are warding because of their plan. Plan is tier 2 tower. Tier 2 tower or team fights. And there's the buyback status. Like I said, I'm still rotating. Oh, this is a button that's not a thing. Ooh, I know. Experience per minute. It's still Sven that's still happily farming, so he's definitely on top of that one. No real surprise. 1600 gold upon him already. I'm wondering when he's gonna TP, if he's gonna TP here, to help his team. He does have a TP scroll, of course. But as long as his team are standing here with 4, and the enemy are standing here with 5, then it is indeed iCCup that's getting ahead, because they still have a hero farming, while Pocket does not. And they indeed back off, so they TP towards the bottom lane, push out of the lane again, as the rest is going to continue farming elsewhere perhaps, so maybe again defending the tier 1 tower, where these 5 now, or well, 4 still, because this time it's the Bane that's not there. But these 4 is going to go push towards. I mean, this is free gold just lying around. But it looks like it's a bait. Here they come. 2 heroes already here. This is just the supports, of course, but there's also Perfect. There's also Always Wanna Fly. The only one that's very far away is Resolution, and he doesn't have a TP. He's going for an MKB. And they actually back off. Well, that's wasting some nice farm, as there is a stack up, so Ancients will be taken down by Jackal. Some more gold for him, as we have the gold craft, 2k in favor of iCCup. Not that much. Really not that much for this time of the game. I'm saying, of course, for WP, it is the dire side. Wow. Keep having them confused for the ways that they're playing for. Experience graph shows them more of the feel of the game. This is basically the balance that we're gonna have. Because as we know, WP, mid-game, tactic. iCCup, not too sad if it goes to late game with that Sven. So this is the balance where both teams have to be very careful to make sure that, well, they're surviving this. If WP gets ahead here, they should be able to steamroll it through. However, if they hit their heads against the stone wall that's not going to budge like this Sven, then it doesn't look good for them. It doesn't look good for them at all. Because we're going to have 1k gold up on the Keeper of Light, who is picked up a headrest, so it's going to probably go for a pipe, as the mechanism is already up, of course, on the Darks here. See if we have some other items. I mean, that's the main difference here. There is mainly the Sven that's farming, who now picked up a Crystalist, so he's looking very shiny right now. And there's 2 heroes on the side of Pocket that are doing really well. We have got 1k gold already up on the Mirana, BKB complete, Yasha complete. So he's doing really well there as, what's that? 4 staff now up on the Windrunner. So that will be her also done with the core items. Well, she went for mana boots rather than face boots, which is quite interesting, because normally Windrunners go for those face boots to get that extra mobility up. But the mana boots are definitely a welcome addition. They have also got mana boots up on the Jakiro, but they have got quite a few heroes that are very mana heavy. So they just want to make sure that they have constantly a flow of that stuff. Arrow not hitting. Jackal now knowing that he's been scouted. They've got 4 heroes here. The only one that's not here is the Queen of Pain. But he will be able to get summoned, of course, by FNG if they want to. FNG who's also got a... there is Queen of Pain. Who's also going to jump off True Sight, so map control should be going the way of Pocket again. But we haven't seen him rotate just yet to try and get these wards out of the way, but that's, of course, a very tricky situation. Shackle latches on Jackal. Wow. Arrow, this time not going to hit. Vacuum back in the fence. On Ice Bat, still it's on Jackal. Dubrat, Sonic Wave. going through. That's already Mirana going through. No leap for you. And that's going to be the BKB up for Shackle, looking for a way up on Yul. There's going to be more Shadow Poison Disruption to help save his life. Ice Path actually hitting on J4, but one hit from Jackal is all it takes. And that's 2 heroes down. Illuminate going through, but not getting anything anymore. They are giving away their tier 1 tower, but that is logical because they cannot fight this anymore. The TPs were out from the support. They knew that the moment that Mirana died, their chances of survival on the top lane is just very minimal. Especially with Jackal just with his BKB on. As I said, if he hits stuff, he's powerful. And with Mirana out of the way, with the BKB on, they know he can hit stuff. And now they know that the BKB is on cooldown. And now they have the Ice Path. Dual Breath going through as well. There's the Warcry, trying to get himself away, but he is too late. It is Jakiro that actually picks up the kill. And now the same thing goes for iCCup. They realize with their Jackal gone, they cannot do anything anymore. So they have like, okay, no wasting time. We're TPing out. And they did that as... the Shackle was not going to latch anymore that we saw flying in the air. But again, that was still a very even fight. The only thing that of course is to be noted is that it was Sven that won that first encounter, and later on they won't have the luxury of giving away towers anymore to try and slow them down with the push. And with them I mean WP of course. At the same time, if they can bait out the BKB again, you saw how fast they can take him down. And he was on the run, he was scared. So it is logical that we do indeed have well, the game still being even. There's still the time. I'm not sure what I wanted to say there. I just lost total track of my mind. As we have the gold graph back towards the 0 line. Experience graph still 2k in favor of iCCup, but again, that's really not that much. BKB activated by Perfect. This might be a bit too much, especially since the Fiend script goes through BKB, but he is now out of position, and he'll probably die. Brain Step still there, but the Windrunner picks up the kill. The rest comes in though. Vacuum Sven's done, and that is gonna be the Khalif that we know and hate and love. I don't know, blink away from Resolution. And that is the Khalif and the crit, and that is just Jackal with his BKB. And the BKB, of course, already over from Mirana, so that was just a bit premature BKB, and that's gonna be the Roshan for iCCup. Vacuum into Sven's stun was all it took. The rest of the heroes didn't even need to be there. But that is gonna be the gold graph switching, and the experience graph as well. As I don't think this is updated just yet. Gonna see Roshan also taken down. iCCup Sven. Jackal picking up the kill. Picking up the Aegis, that is. He's got 4,600 gold. As he will be able to pick up the Daedalus. And let's see though, if they're gonna be continuing to push or if they want to get more farm, which might be the case. Like, they've got the late game, they don't need to rush. WP needs to rush. Windrunner just continuing farming, pushing out mid it slightly. More stacks for Ancients. Double damage for the TA, who blinks away the moment she sees the Queen of Pain, or the Keeper of Light. Or maybe he didn't see it. Maybe he didn't see it. Ward up the high ground. As said, I mean, the gem is still there on the Keeper of Light, so as you can see, the warding from the Dire side is going to be failing soon. This is a new one, though. Might be taken down soon if they come there. So we have got iCCup gathering up mid. The only one that they're missing is the Queen of Pain. Jackal will be taking down Ancients instead. Well, that's a funny pastime as well. As we have got going towards the 3k on the gold graph. Experience graph, that shows it a bit more drastically. That shows a bit more of how we feel that it's gonna be, or how I feel that this game is now. This game is at the point where Sven is ready. Sven is ready to take the fights, to take the kills, to make the crits happen. Yep, it's all ready. Surge up for Regis Sick. See if he can find someone. Of course, he can have a nice initiation with his Nightmare as well as with his Fiend script, whichever he wants to do first. And they're gonna go finding Hardy. Hello, Hardy. That's a Fiend script. A bit wasted, but they get him. If they don't get him, I will be disappointed. There we go. He's picked up a 10%. I mean, everybody else of WP is a long way away, and they're not even gonna try to save their support Jakiro, of course. I mean, if you support Jakiro, come on. In the meantime, there's gonna be 3 on the top lane, 2 on the bottom lane. 2 for 2 on the WP, of course. They still got 1 dead. Tier 2 towers gonna get picked off on the top lane. Bottom lane, not going to be the same. There is actually BKB up on resolution. No more vacuum for him. As Queen of Pain is going to chase after him. BKB will end soon. Of course, Iron Shell still doing what it can. Mirana ultimate helping out. Queen of Pain now landing Shadow Strike. They have, of course, got the Eye of True Sight. Sonic Wave gets the kill. Gem of True Sight. In the meantime, they get the tier 2 top. And they save their own tier 2 bottom. And Jackal wasn't even needed for that save, as he now has got his Deadlifts complete, and he has got 3,800 gold. And the TP goes out from the Mirana, doesn't want to be there anymore. So this is the very, very typical game we've seen from a Sven. It's a lot like the anti-mage actually. Farm. Hey guys, I'm ready to fight.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Comes Mirana. Let's see if she can do something. Doesn't want to trade it. I mean, this... Oh, Jackal will be pulled back towards the bottom lane. I was gonna say, this is just ballsy move. Jackal just walking by himself pushing in, but that's not the case. He's just gonna get called by FNG, and they get the tier 2. There's only one tier 2 now left on the side of WP, with all the tier 2 towers still left standing on iCCup. And let's see where they're gonna be going. They have got all their heroes here. 5 heroes on the bottom lane. And we just think it's the one that's getting surged up. Maybe the one that's supposed to be going in first with the Nightmare, with the Fiend's Grip. He's going for BKB, of course, as well. Doesn't want to get interrupted when he goes for his Fiend's Grip. Ancient's taken down. 5,600 gold, because he's rich. So gold graph, spiking up. Experience graph, spiking even more up. I mean, we've seen that it's been very even for a very long time, but all of a sudden, well, to be fair, it's not really sudden. We noticed when the farm from Sven was there. The moment he got its Crystallis, we knew what kind of danger he would pose to WP, as we have got the Sheever's Guard ready on the Darkseer. Let's see if we can find some new items up on the side of the Dire. 1,600 gold up on the Mirana, but she still has the same items as the previous time, so she's not farming that fast anymore. And we check out her gold per minute, she's indeed being at around the same level as the Darkseer. She's not that bad, but if you compare her to the Sven, well, basically uncomparable. As we have the Templar Assassin, MKB complete, we saw her building that one. Crystallis though, that's a new one. A new item that she has, so she is going to be going for that semi-carry role. Is she going to be able to do it for her team though? Is it going to be enough? That's of course the question. TP comes out towards the tier 2 tower top. Don't want to be losing that. Sunlight is going to be the one to defend that. Here's BKB of course complete. He's got 1k gold, 1.1 even. And the tier 2 tower mid still stands, so that was the one that we saw iCCup going for, and actually they changed their mind because they rather defend their own towers than giving towers away. So the mana leak, no more mana for Always Wanna Fly. But hey, he got mana boots, he's got 4 stick charges, he's happy. Even though the mana boots is already being used, we've got the 4 staff up on the Keeper of the Light. We've got now also the ultimate orb up on the Queen of Pain, might be going for a sheep stick as a tier 2 tower. Last one standing on WP now goes down. 2,600 gold up on the Darkseer. And tier 3 is going to be the word. Fortification goes off. That was the one they want to go for. God Strength being used for this though. They have to use it, and they will. Mask of Madness also just going for the tower. Ice Path not hitting. Shackle not latching. Tower dead. Arrow not hitting. Mana leak. Barracks are next. There goes another Ice Path. Again getting dodged. Only Sunlight getting hit by that, but the tower still drops. And they've just been able to get this tower and barracks without any cost for themselves. This is just mana cost. Shackle, link in, we just dig, vacuum in, BKBs everywhere. Sonic Wave goes through, not doing anything because of those BKBs. Jackal also though, with his BKB, Demonic Burst there, and he actually drops. It is Bane and Sven that are already the ones to die on the side of iCCup, and now FNG is gonna get himself away. Shackle not latching. There's still Blinding Light, but that doesn't save him anymore, and he goes down. 3 heroes dead on the side of iCCup. No heroes down on Wzriv Poket. And that was, by the way, the reason that Sven didn't have his Aegis anymore is because it only just disappeared. Just. Hello, who's standing here? Queen of Pain? Are you sure you want to be here? I don't think so. Maybe that.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And so we have exclamation marks coming off all over the map. It's 45 seconds until the Sven is back again. As the courier is just standing there because he can. Maybe. Ooh, picks up resolution. Really? This is deadless almost complete. Let's see if they can take barracks in return, because they waited a long time before they could take that fight. They waited until iCCup was on the way out before they tried to take that fight. Successfully did that though. Buyback first out from the Sven, and now they will back out Now they will no longer check if they can get something in return for that. The buyback for now is enough. If they do a fight like that again, that should be barracks for them, if the lanes are of course in their favor, at least tier 2 towers, because there's only one tier 2 tower now left standing on the side of iCCup. So the gold graph dropping back because of that. And the experience graph will be more clear and will be more drastical. It will go towards the 4K, but that is still, I mean, it is still very even, but we see how fast it can change. One fight can turn it all around, and that's the Gem of Truth side that wasn't picked up by the Dire side because of that ice path probably blocking the vision and them not seeing anything, and then they backed out and then they didn't see anything. Nice one. Okay, this Templar Assassin is gonna be hurting because her Daedalus is as good as complete. Is complete, let's put it that way. It's her no gold sword. She went all in, no buyback, and that might be dangerous for the next fight. If she dies at a wrong spot, and of course if she dies it's bad anyway, but if she dies on a wrong spot, that might be costing them more than a second set of racks, or second barracks I should say, because this wasn't an entire set. It was just the melee barracks that they came for, and then they went again. BKB up on the Bane, completed. Queen of Pain still building towards the Sheepstick. Got a Ghost Scepter up on Keeper of the Light. J4. 2800 gold. Of course also wants to have the buyback. And we take a look at the buyback status and we do see that it is... oh, he bought something. What did he buy? What did he buy? Oh, hello Aghanim's. Just needs the orb. The booster. And then he has that one complete. Oh, he already has that one. Point booster. Well, that is going to be an items complete. So that's going to be his illusions doing a lot more damage. And this is interesting because we already established that there's more carries up on the pocket than there is on iCCup. So there's also more heroes to copy. As in, that would actually make a big difference. So if you get a copy on the Moran up on the Templar or on the Templar Assassin, that is massive. That is so much damage going through. And normally those illusions are not the ones that you would target first. Smoke up for Pocket, by the way. Let's see, can they do something here? Here they go. They know that they're there. Here comes the start off. It's only an enfeeble and a mana leak actually. That's no more mana left on the Mirana. Well, mana boots will help out. And they're actually gonna try to chase down a resolution because they know he's alone. They knew he's alone. Not anymore though, can't take him. Not with that blink dagger, he was just too fast. Can they find something else? Oh, Keeper of Light. Finding someone, disruption there, Soulcatcher as well. This is dangerous for him. Trap goes off, there's a Ghost Scepter helping out, and they are actually too afraid to go in for now. Shackle, not gonna latch. Mechanism actually a bit premature. Whoa, that was a crit. Hello, Gem of Truth head on the floor. Vacuum back in. Stun hits, not because there's a BKB resolution. Fiend's Grip though, Jackal just bashing in, no more refraction, and this is the spend that we know, and there goes resolution, and like we already saw, no more buyback, as still Shadow Demon dropping as well. Nice ice pass. Queen of Pain shout, not gonna get anything. Morano's ultimate going through, but there is no Templar Assassin, and there is no Templar Assassin for a long time, for 72 seconds, and in the meantime, the Aegis is still up on Jackal, and he even got himself an Assault Cuirass. This might be another set of racks going for iCCup. I mean, there's still a carry up on there who's going for a Desolator, by the way, and almost has to complete as well. 2100 gold, but at the same time, does she really want to get that with risking their no longer having a buyback? Tier 3 tower going to be the target here. There's no God Strength, so the tower will take some longer to take down Shackle. Gonna let Shackle to a creep, vacuum in there, dual breath not hitting anything. Nightmare up on Jakiro, there goes the stun, they follow up on. 4-step forward, not gonna help him anymore. Jackal picking up the kill. Demonic Purge up on Jackal though, getting slowed down. His BKB is off cooldown again right now. Can't use it again. Picks up the tower first, now goes for the barrack. Shackle not latching this time, still getting stunned though by the arrow. And the focus fire is there. There is the 2-hit though, and that's gonna be the kill. The buyback is there from Marana. As said, she will have that again. 17 seconds until the Templar Assassin is back. Always wanna fly. Gonna try to do what he can before he's gonna have to be back towards his fountain. Basil's Nightmare again. That is 2 sets of racks going down because the ranged racks in the middle went down as well, as Jackal still deciding what to do. I mean, he's still got the Aegis. There's a search up, he's going for the buildings though, and here comes an arrow. Let's see who's gonna be getting hit by it. Nobody's gonna get hit by it. Jackal though gets the hit. Here's Resolution again. Here's the damage going through. Pops her BKB. Can he get a kill? FNG, Ghost Scepter keeping him alive. Blinding Light doesn't do anything with that BKB Mirana. Resolution now stun up, stop forward. There's a refraction on cooldown, cannot do anything. One more hit, and she goes down again. And without a buyback still, the cooldown is up, but no more gold. Jackal goes down, but his Aegis wasn't popped just yet, only now, as we just take pops his BKB as well. Needs to be getting away, goes down still. Sven hit, stuns, hit, hits, also hit. 1 hit, 2 hit. That is already 3 dead, and that's gonna be 4 dead, and the only one left alive was alive barely, and the GG gets called. It is Sven that wins the game. Again, it is iCCup that takes game number 1 from Pocket, and it is gonna be iCCup that is gonna be 1-up in the next game, because this is the best out of 3 for the quarterfinals for the ASUS Open 2012 final battle of the year. We're gonna have 4 best out of 3s today, 2 quarterfinals, 2 semifinals. The winner of this best out of 3 will be going to the semifinals to face up against Virtus Pro, while the winner of the other quarterfinals that we're gonna see, which is Na'Vi versus Illuminate, is gonna be up against Empire in the semifinals later tonight. But first, we're gonna see game 2 of iCCup versus Wzriv Poket. My name is Sheever, I am a Ghost of Gamers caster. If you want to support me, you can subscribe to my YouTube, or follow me on Twitter, or just sit and watch and not have ad block or something like that. Anyway, let's jump ourselves into game number 2, stick around!